Listen, we live in a time today when most of what is sold is short-term pleasure. The desire to not make sacrifices, to have it now. So I want to encourage you, if you're listening to me today, if it is something you intend to make it last for a long time, then you must think about the long term. You have a choice to make. I can't tell you the number of people I know who have used up a lot of credit, borrowing money just to live a perception of life that they believe is a beautiful life. The truth of the matter is, Gustav B. Achu here. I feel blessed today. It's an awesome day to be alive. Hey, if it's your first time on the channel, on this channel, we talk about life. We talk about investing in yourself for personal growth, for profits, and building a lasting legacy. You know, it's always a great plumping pleasure just communioning with you. And today I want to talk about a phenomenon which has robbed a lot of people of their destiny, of their purpose, and of their futures. You know, a few days ago, in fact, the last 9 to 11 months in the US, the stock market has been roaring on all cylinders. I mean, companies have been growing in mighty leaps. People have been making money hands over fist, and every stock, almost every company has been in the green extensively for a while. And the person who is in charge of the treasury, right, the treasury secretary came out and set up and announced an advanced precautionary plan that the treasury has to manage inflation and balance the economy. Long and short of the story, the announcement was a little bit shaky. People didn't like it, and the stock market started tanking. Companies dropped by 10, 15, 20% for some of them. And of course, in that process, some people got so afraid, started selling their shares, selling their stock. In fact, a friend of mine called me, and this gentleman is actually a client I coach, and he asked me, Coach, so what do I do? The market is tanking. What is happening? Should I go ahead and start selling my shares? And I told him, no, don't panic. Why are you panicking? He said, well, the shares are dropping so fast. I said, listen, you only lose when you sell. If you don't sell out of your position, it is going to rise again. From the 100 years history of the stock market, companies end up going up all the time, right? Some will go under, no doubt, but the stocks he owns, if you own solid companies, those companies will end up rising. The stock market is like a staircase and an elevator. You climb one step at a time, and then the elevator might bring you down again to the second floor, and then you climb all the way to the fifth floor. The elevator brings you again to the third floor. You climb to the seventh floor, and it brings you to the fifth. Even though it brings you down sometimes, you still end up going up at the end of the day. That's how the stock market is, right? And so when he told me that, I could sense the fear in his voice. I could sense the frustration, the panic. And I told him, no, don't sell. And he was a little bit surprised. He said, you don't sound alarmed, coach. You don't sound panic. Why are you so calm? And I laughed and I told him, you know what? The stock market is just like life in itself. A lot of people sell out of their positions when the stock is going down, instead of just being patient and waiting for it to go down and start going up again. At the point when they'll be willing to sell in the future, the stock will naturally be higher than it was at the point when they were feeling that anxiety to sell. Life is that way. A lot of people lose their destiny in life. A lot of people get stuck. A lot of people fail to achieve their true intentions, purposes, and their true potential because they give up too quick. They abandon and throwing the towel too early. Listen, nothing good, nothing significant in this life will ever come out of short-term work, out of short-term sacrifice, out of short-term desires. You need to understand that anything you want to do, if it is something you intend to make it last for a long time, then you must think about the long term. You see, on this channel, I spend a lot of time talking about legacy, because legacy is one of those things when you really start thinking about it, you are forced to think long term. And when you're forced to think long term, then you're forced to start making decisions that matter. The decisions that really matter in life are decisions that can affect you today positively and also affect you even more positively in the longer term. We live in a time today when most of what is sold is short-term pleasure. It's the desire to not make sacrifices, to have it now. There is an expression which is called YOLO, you only live once. I cannot tell you the number of people who've gotten into trouble in this life just because they're trying to only live once. I can't tell you the number of people I know who have used up a lot of credit, borrowing money just to live a perception of life that they believe is a beautiful life, just because they saw somebody else living it, traveling around the world, doing all these things on borrowed money. Listen, I'm not saying it's not good. It is good, but the key thing here is affordability, right? You don't want to live on borrowed money, because when you're living on borrowed money all the time, you're swiping your credit card, paying high interest fees, and taking money from your retirement, and taking money you could have been investing on the stock market for future growth, to be able to get present pleasure, to be able to say, hey, I'm living my life now. You only live once. I don't know about tomorrow. You know what? You most likely be alive tomorrow. In fact, you most likely be alive in the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years, depending on your age. The truth of the matter is, you have a choice to make. You can either make that sacrifice now, so that in case you are still alive, which is a higher probability that you will be alive, you're not going to fall into the 3 most deadly traps that I talk about all the time. I call it the triple threat: getting old, becoming sick, and then broke. That is probably the worst thing that can happen to you. You get to your 50s, to your 60s, you start getting older, to your 70s, you feel like you need a lot of care, you start getting sick, and then worst of all, you can't even afford to take care of it. That is one of the things that keeps me awake at night. I don't know what it is that keeps you awake, but that is one of the things that keeps me awake. That is why I focused a lot around being able to help teach people how to invest on themselves for personal growth, because you cannot achieve what you haven't become. I want that to sink in. Hey, listen here, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate you stopping by the channel. Every time you stop by the channel to watch my content, it fills me with a lot of motivation to continue to find the best information to provide you. While you're on the channel, I also want to let you know that over 80% of people who watch my channel have not subscribed yet to the channel. Why don't you do me this favor? Go ahead and hit the subscription key, and also hit the notification bell. That way, anytime I have new content, you'll be able to be the first one to get it. You cannot achieve what you haven't become. To get, you must become first, right? So in order to get and be able to protect and build any kind of wealth you might be aspiring to, you have to first of all become that person that can generate that kind of value. So I teach people how to invest in themselves for personal growth. Also how to invest for profits on the US stock market. Also in other assets that are income generating that you can build profit on. But most importantly, how to make sure your name, the great things you've done, is preserved and doesn't disappear, so that legacy is upheld. You see, as you live your life, you must accept the reality that there is a point where you're not going to be as young as you are today. In fact, today is the youngest you're ever going to be in your life. There is a point where you're not going to be as intelligent as you are. There is a point where you're not going to be as physically fit as you are. There is a point when you will not be able to deliver on the dreams and ambitions that you have, because you might not have the energy anymore, you might not have the drive, you might not have the desire. So it is important that those things that are important to you, those things that mean a lot to you, those key things that matter in your life, spend time to start working and delivering on them now. You might think, well, hey, Gustav, I've noticed, for those who've been following me for a while, you must have noticed that the velocity of videos I'm putting out on social media increases every day. You know why? Because of the urgency of now. I have no time to wait. I am 47, and if I am blessed, I'll live for another 40 years. 40 years is not even enough time for me to write the 25 books I aspire to write before I die. For me to pull out everything I have in my head, and the ones that I'm still going to learn and deliver. You look behind me, that's just 1/4 of the library, of my library. That's just 1/4 of the number of books I have. I can't tell you the different programs I'm registered for. Why am I doing all of this? Because for me to be able to help you, for me to be able to deliver value to you, I have to become that person first. I cannot give what I don't have. So if I have to give you something of value, which is the reason why you're still watching my video till this point, then I have to be able to also have something of value, to become somebody of value in order to deliver that to you, right? So just like I said earlier in the video, I want to remind you that just like the US stock market, life is going to be like that. Sometimes if things drop, don't give up. Don't pack your bags and start selling your positions. Don't sell yourself short. Don't do things that will devalue you. You have to keep getting better and also increasing your value by asking people to pay higher for your value. Paying might not necessarily be in money. It might even be in time. Don't let nobody waste your time. Don't let nobody take time away from you, because that's the most valuable asset you are going to have other than your mind and your brain to think with. Time is important. That's the currency of life. A lot of people realize towards the end of their life that the most important thing they regret not using it very well is their time. So I want to encourage you, if you're listening to me today, to really understand that if you've been investing in the stock market, please don't go ahead and sell your positions yet. Just let it be. If anything, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity because the stock has gone down, so you can buy even more. And when you buy more at lower prices today, you'll be able to sell at higher prices in the future. When the stock market goes down, it's just like doing Black Friday when we have a massive sale. A lot of people go out and buy decks and buy phones and buy things they don't even need. And when the things which are going to really make your life different, which are going to transform your destiny, go on sale, instead of buying them, you're panicking to sell what you already have. That is a very unwise way of thinking about it. But I understand the human emotion. That's why I spend time to talk to you about these things, right? And by the way, if you're one of those who really have trouble understanding how the US stock market works, if you're having challenges just understanding how to invest on the stock market, how to even build yourself as a person, down in the description section of this video, there's going to be a link there. And I have some different programs that I know will be valuable for you. But in the meantime, if you want to first of all just get a sense of how best to go about it, there's going to be a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link and book a one-on-one time with me. We're going to have a 30-minute conversation, just you and me, and I'll be able to tell you exactly how I can help you go forward, how I can help you build that massive wealth you want to build, or that person you want to become, or even just help you uncover what your purpose is. A lot of people get to the point of their life where they start getting frustrated because they're not working on their purpose. They're not working on that thing that God placed in their heart. Let me help you uncover that thing, all right? Let me help you work on giving you a chance to discover what your purpose is and giving you the ability to start working on it, because it's only working on your purpose that you will deliver on things that will build your legacy and will build the history that people will remember about you. But I'll still be back. But before I let you go, I want to remind you that if nobody ever told you before that you are enough, don't let nobody, no circumstance, no impact coming into your life, don't let any of that dissuade you from your purpose. Stay on course. Keep working. Don't throw in the towel. And you know what? I will certainly see you at the top. Until the next time, take care of yourselves.